welcome to the Taco Cast. I'm Crystal.
I'm Will.
And you're our audience. Thank you for joining us today.
Welcome.
Yeah. Today is day 4, weekend 4, Sunday number 4 of Perpetually Disheveled Month. It started out as a week, and now it's just a month. I'll be... I might do something with my hair later on. I'm not really sure.
Mm.
Yeah, so...
You may not pick it up on the camera, but she put pink in her hair.
Ooh.
Colored to gray, all pink.
Yeah, that was kind of... there's this company that makes hair coloring products specifically for people with darker hair. And it's like this hyper-pigmented stuff. And so I was like, yeah, I used to dye my hair with henna, and I kind of stopped because it's just tedious. You got to make the mask, you got to put it on your hair, you got to sit there for 3 hours when you have a toddler who's like, what's this, Mom? It's just not worth it. So I stopped. And so I was looking at the stuff, and I was kind of looking at how it looked on just the brown hair, and I was like, yeah, that looks nice. It'll be a nice, subtle, color. That'll be great. And then the gray just took up all of that pink, and I like it, and I'm going to keep it because, yeah.
It's a lot of work to be a woman.
It's the amount of work that you want to put into it. I used to dye my hair a lot, to the point to where when, they say that your hair color changes sometimes when it grows back in after chemo, as well as, you get like the little chemo curls and everything. And I used to dye my hair so frequently that when my hair grew back in after chemo, I'm looking at it in the mirror and I'm like, I don't think that's my natural color. But to be honest, I'm not really sure anymore. It's literally been a decade. I haven't seen it in so long. But it's the amount of work you want to put into it. Like I said, I used to dye my hair a lot, and I was at work one time, and this gal comes up, and she's like, you've really let your roots go. You need to dye your roots. And I was like,
wow.
No, I know, right?
People do that?
Mm-hmm. And I'm like,
Damn.
yeah, I don't. And she's like, why not? And I was like, because I don't dye my hair for you. I do it for me, and I don't fucking feel like it. That's why. You get to piss off. Dye your own hair. So
I had no idea that people did.
Oh, yeah, some people are just...
Is it mainly women who come up and talk to each other that way?
Women are the harshest judges of other women. Dudes can be dicks, don't get me wrong. Sometimes y'all act up, but women, when it comes to other women, are just like, I don't like your eyebrows. Okay, well then don't fucking make your eyebrows look like mine. I like my eyebrows. Fuck off.
Wow. Miss Potty Mouth over here. That is the third time you've cursed in the last 3 minutes.
No, it isn't.
I'm sorry for my wife's potty mouth. She apparently has some kind of... All right, well, there's the cup too. I guess, right?
They know. They're the audience. They know.
Yeah. So today we want to talk about wearing masks. Wearing a mask to protect yourself and others while you are in public. You don't need to wear them when you're in your car by yourself, but you should wear them anytime you go in public. And the reason why this came up, and we're talking about this subject, is the other day we needed to take our son to the store because he grows. And he's growing and growing and growing, and I'm getting poorer and poorer and poorer.
And if anybody who's shopped for clothes for a kiddo knows you kind of have to have them with you at least the first time you're buying the next size to make sure you get the right one. Online shopping is great, but we've had to send back a ton of stuff. Yeah. And I don't know what everybody's experience. Our experience has been when you order stuff online and you send it back, a lot of retailers are not crediting that money back to your account right away. So you have to wind up having to wait to purchase what you actually needed, which is fine.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, $20-$30. But, when you're talking, you've bought your kid $50-$60 worth of clothes because he had a growth spurt.
Yeah, but even $20, that's still an inconvenience that I don't really need. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're not made of money. But, $20 is a lot when you're like, okay, I have enough, I have to buy pants. He needs pants on his butt. So you go buy them online and you find like a great deal. Maybe you find 2 pairs for $10 or for $20.
I'm a huge bargain shopper. More
And
about that.
and then you get them and you ordered size 5, but their 5 is nowhere near going to fit.
Yeah.
It would fit like maybe a 3, size. They're like a size 3. The sizes are way off.
Yeah.
Whoever labeled them as a 5 obviously has never seen a size 5 in toddler. So, yeah. But so we went to the store the other day. And while we're at the store, where we live, you are required to wear a mask in anytime you are in public. You go to the convenience store, you got to put on a mask. You go to the hardware store, you got to put on a mask. You go to, Target, Walmart, someplace like that, bigger retailers. We prefer to shop small, but where we live in our area, a lot of the smaller stores are still not allowed to open.
Yeah.
They're allowing the big businesses to open, but they're not the smaller retailers,
I
which
think
is
it's
so
bullshit,
wrong.
But yeah.
So the mom and pop stores are all going, they're all going under.
We have
'Cause
friends of ours who are small business owners who are.
Their stores have been closed since the beginning of March, and here we are in July, and they still are not allowed to open. But your Walmarts, your Targets, these are essential business places according to our state governor. But that's not the point. The point is we were at the store the other day, and people who were wearing masks were wearing them improperly, and then some people were wearing masks made at home that were clearly, what's the best way to put it?
Dumb as fuck.
Okay, we'll go with that. Dumb as fuck, as she put it. We saw one lady who had a face mask that was made out of a like lace. I guess would be the best way to put it.
Yeah, it was
lingerie lace.
It was lace. It was lace.
I mean, what is that? What is she hoping that's going to solve? So, while I have you here and you have more expertise, and knowledge in this area than I do. I mean, I can read all I want on the internet, but can you tell me what about the particle size does an N95 stop?
So, an N95 mask actually stops really, really small particles, and forgive me, I don't remember the exact size exactly, but I do know that an N95 will filter down to the size of a tuberculin particle. Which
is that tuberculosis?
Yes.
Okay.
Which
I don't know.
A tuberculosis is pretty small. So an N95 will filter most ash particles, most viruses. Now the issue with N95s and why their use differs from facility to facility and job to job is the fact that it's a mask sitting on like that. And it's never gonna work. It's not gonna have 100% protection, right? Your eyes are still open. That's a mucous membrane, stuff like that. But it does its job really, really well.
Now,
Amazingly well.
Is it an N95 mask? Is that what your doctor wears when he's doing surgery, or do they wear something that's even better in protection?
So that's gonna vary again, and it's gonna depend on the facility and that patient.
But why do doctors wear them?
A lot of doctors wear them so they don't get you sick, so they're not coughing stuff into your abdominal cavity.
So when they're doing surgery, they wear them for a reason because they're effective in helping stop the spread of germs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. And so, are germ particles larger or smaller than a viral?
They're going to be larger. Viral particles tend to be small. Bacteria tend to be a little bit, significantly larger. When you're talking a viral particle, viruses aren't. Most people don't even consider them to be alive. They're literally just a protein shell that exists to replicate itself. So they're relatively small. So if it can filter a virus, it can filter most everything else.
Okay, so when you wear a mask, are you supposed to be covering your eyes? Are you supposed to is it supposed to cover the entire face? Now, I'd ask this because obviously, while we were at the store, we saw people with the masks on their head. We saw them with them around their necks. We saw them with, well, obviously with people with none on at all.
No.
They had to put them on to get into the store, and as soon as they walked away, they took them off.
And so I'm gonna preface this with saying, because I need to give a little personal background.
Okay.
I have both personal opinions and social opinions, and they don't always coincide. Like we discussed on one of our previous podcasts when it comes to vaccinations. Personally, I believe not vaccinating is a really stupid decision. Your children are not props in your performance art. No one gives a shit about how super woke you are, Karen. Vaccinate your kids. They matter. Socially, I don't think vaccinations should be mandatory. These are two apparently discongruent opinions, but you know, I when it comes to wearing a mask, it irritates I get so irritated when I see them worn wrong, because I've been telling people since this whole thing started that the main problems with masking are just user error, and they're easily correctable with education and practice, and we're months into this thing and I still see the same number of people not doing it right. I'm like, all right, well, that was wrong. Apparently everybody just sucks at doing this.
Well, I mean, people are learning. You hope they learn now, because we're seeing businesses who are starting to open up are now having to being forced closed again, because we're seeing spikes in it because people aren't social distancing. They're not. For the first time, I noticed in the grocery stores, hand sanitizer is now $1. For a big old bottle of it, and all the the hoarding things like Lysol sprays and stuff like that.
Toilet paper's back in stock.
Yeah, and toilet paper's back in stock. But the people who were using hand sanitizer and cleaning things and taking care of killing germs are not doing it anymore. And at the same time, when they started socializing in larger groups and enclosed environments, and wow, that we have spikes in the positive results.
Well, so we're allowed to have gatherings. Well, we're recommended allow. I'm not actually sure of the verbiage on that. You can have up to 10 people in a gathering. Then there's certain people that I'm trying to figure out how to phrase.
Well, while you think about that, and how you want to phrase it, I want to go on to say that at the same time, though, sticking with masks, wearing a mask, there are people out there who have come up with some pretty ingenious masks and versions of masks. I saw a gentleman the other day at the store who had taken a filter for a coffee maker and had shoved it into his mouth and was wearing it like a mouthpiece. And I was like, that's a coffee filter. Why do you have a coffee filter sticking out of your mouth? And I'm like, if it's something, I mean, I'd rather see that than nothing. But it's probably more effective than the lady who was wearing the mask made out of lace.
The lace mask, it just bugs the shit out of me. Or the people that have it like here. And now, I'm going to go ahead and let people know that you will see, and I am one of them, you will see people who work in healthcare. Occasionally, we're wearing our masks down like this. So
you're not wearing them. You're not wearing them properly.
So there's a large number of people, myself included, who you take your mask, you put your mask on, and in my facility, we typically we changed our PPE out when we were working with an infectious substance. So if I was masking because I was working with like a sputum specimen or something like that, as soon as I got done, all of my PPE went in the trash, right? But if we were ill, we would also mask while we were at work. So we'd be wearing a mask, but then if there's nobody around us, we've pulled it down, right? Or if you're at work and you're wearing a mask all day, and you're not necessarily working with a known infectious substance, it's just you're wearing it all day, you put your gloves on, you do your thing, you pull your mask down to do whatever it is you're going to do, and then you kind of forget to put it back up or to change it
So
out.
maybe that's what the people at the stores are doing. Maybe they're wearing it to get into the store, and then they forget to put it back on, or they take it off and throw it in their cart.
Legitimately,
Because they
it's
forget.
a bad habit, and it's a bad habit that a lot of older laboratory employees are in, because it's the way that we'd done it beforehand, and it's nothing that we really changed. It's something we need to change, but bad habits take a long time to get out of.
Or new habits.
New habits take a long time to form.
Because is this our new norm that we're gonna have to wear masks?
I don't know. I used to think that it ought to be. Um, now I'm on the fence about that. You know. I just want people to not wear. And so here's So here's the thing. You want to wear a mask? Wear a mask. I think you should. It's going to help keep you safe. It's going to help keep you from transmitting your illness if you are sick to other people. It is going to help keep you from catching it if somebody else is. If you don't want to wear a mask, don't. Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, it's you. It's not me.
It's unconstitutional to make me wear a mask. I'm pretty sure it's in the Constitution somewhere because I've seen about 10,000 memes on Facebook in the last month and a half, 2 months that says that it's a violation of my constitutional rights to wear a mask. And if it's on Facebook, it's got to be true.
Yeah. It's been a really long time since I've read the Constitution. A long time since I've read it.
Got to be there.
But I don't
It's
remember.
it's a
the word
Facebook meme.
Yeah, I don't remember it anywhere in there. Might be. Should give it another read. But yeah, if you don't want to wear one, don't. I'm not super invested in forcing other people to.
Stay home.
Don't
go anywhere.
Don't be abusive to
just
other
stay here.
people. If you choose not to wear a mask, okay, awesome for you. But then if you want to go to Starbucks, don't shit all over the barista when he asks you to put a mask on. Either don't go, or put it on. Don't be an asshole.
That's pretty much your choices.
Just like if you don't want to wear one, that whatever. But you're not the new Paul Revere.
No.
For not wearing a mask.
I see you in public without your mask on. You're an idiot. That's the first thing that comes to my mind.
Well, I will add a caveat to that though. There's a lot.
Well, she's a nicer person than me.
After I just laid down all those F-bombs. No, hold on, honey. Let's not judge people too quickly. There's plenty of they're not always comfortable to wear.
Of course they're not.
And that's coming from me, somebody who's worn one during my workday for the majority of my professional life. They're not always comfortable to wear, and there's a lot of people who, when there's not other people around, they're taking them off. I get that. Do it. My employees are required to wear one when they're at work, but when they're the only people who are working, they take theirs off. Okay, we're not typically working with infectious samples at the facility in which I work, so if it's just you, yeah, go ahead. When the rest of the team comes in, everybody's got it on, and everybody's cool about it. But there's plenty of people. Well, okay, so that I joined up for Gish this year, or whatever, and then yesterday, day before that, there was this. We did this Gish Skype with the gentleman who organizes it, and he jogs, and he's talking about he's out jogging, and there's nobody else around him, so he's not wearing a mask because it's just him. And if he sees people, he crosses and to get so he's not next to them. And he's trying to be all conscientious. And he goes running past these people, and they yell at him for not wearing a mask, and he's like, "I'm not that guy. I just So if you wear a lace mask, even if nobody says anything to you about it, and you shouldn't, because let's just you don't know that person's circumstances, but silently you're being judged a lot, and maybe not so silently, because I did one of these things. Babe, look over there. Babe, look right there. So if you're not wearing one, is much less asinine than wearing something completely ineffective like mosquito netting, or lace. Like, don't. Just don't.
Saw a guy with a plastic bottle over his head. And he had a big plastic bottle over his head, kind of like the one that our son's cheese balls come in.
Oh.
He cut the bottom off it and put that over his head.
Now, oddly enough, that actually is an effective barrier. It's a solid barrier. If you cough, it's going out straight down, and if anybody coughs on you, so looks weird. Effective barrier.
He cut eye holes in a mouth hole in it.
Okay, that's not.
I was like, "What are you doing?" Yeah, he was at Home Depot.
The other thing is there are legitimate barriers to mask wearing. People who wear oxygen, it's going to be hard for them to wear a mask.
Aren't they already wearing a mask?
Yeah. Well, sometimes some people just have the nasal cannula. There are legitimate barriers to mask wearing, which is part of why, I've just spent the last however many minutes going off on people who wear them stupid, but, also remember, you don't know everybody's circumstances. And yes, all those people who post those stupid ass Facebook memes about, my freedoms, I'm not wearing a mask, America can't make me, freedom fighter, yeah, you're done.
I get a kick out of them.
I don't.
I get a kick out of some of these people who, are freedom. They say they're freedom fighters, and oh, God bless America, and they tout that they're never going to wear them. I have a buddy who did that, who posted this, thing, not a meme, but it was a meme, and then he also commented on top of it, above the meme, that he's never going to wear a mask because the government can't make him wear it, and he can't breathe in it. So I was about to share a photo that I took of him when he was hunting a couple years ago with me, and I was going to share it, but my friend got to it before I could, and when he posted it, he sat in a tree for 8 hours covered in mud and deer piss or something on himself, and a full facial and mask and everything around him. And I'm like, you'll do that for 8 hours, but you won't wear a mask to go into the gas station to pay for your gas. And I'm just like, why? Well, because somebody else is asking him. That is why he won't wear a mask. That's what it comes down to. Yeah. If it's his idea, goddamn, he's going to do it.
It's like
but if anybody else asks him to do it, he ain't going to do it.
How boring is a person's life? Like, how cake is a person's life that they have to literally invent a problem to get pissed about? Like,
right?
I had to be
in today's society, especially right now, of all the things that you have to get yourself so worked up about and upset about, you would think that would not be one of them, but it is. It's like, why are you so worked up over wearing a mask? Just put one on if you need to, and if you're going out into public, it's not just for your safety, it's for the safety of others.
And again, if you don't,
because you can catch this stupid COVID thing and then not even know you have it, come home and give it to other people. You don't know. It's not like you get it and then all of a sudden, beep, 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 there's an alarm that goes off and says, you got the COVID. So, you don't know that.
So speaking of which, there's recent research that seems to pinpoint why it is some people have significantly worse cases of COVID than others. And it seems to be tied, how they discovered a while back that people who COVID causes...
Factual?
Yes, it's actual research. That people that have COVID...
Is it researched or...
So, here's the problem.
I want 7 sources, and I want them now.
Here's the problem with COVID research. When you're talking about something that is brand new, all of the research is also brand new. So unless the labs are doing their research concurrently, unfortunately, we don't have replication. Now they're working on it, but it's when something brand new hits the scene, it's super hard to get stuff that's replicated. So basically what happens is we get a new piece of research and the medical community is like, oh, does this fit with what we already know? Yes, no, maybe. You always want to look at a couple of different things when you're evaluating research. In my opinion, and this is my personal bias, sample size, sample size, sample size.
Every time you hit the table, you move the camera.
Sample size, sample size, sample size. Okay, hold on.
So, Yeah, I mean it's obviously a test and retest, and then before you actually release the results, preliminary results don't matter. So yesterday, somebody in one of my live streams said that O positive blood people with O positive blood are immune to coronavirus.
Not immune. But there does seem to be some credence to the idea that people with O blood type might be having less severe cases of corona. That is something they're currently looking into. I want to say it was University of Jerusalem.
Yes, and I actually after the live stream I looked this up, and the it's not that they have an immunity to it. It was that they have less severe, like you said, but unless they have other pre-existing conditions. If you're a healthy, person and you're O positive, you have then you are exposed to and you get the coronavirus. They are shown that they have a less severe outcomes, and duration of sickness. But and then unless you have another pre-existing condition, and that all bets are off.
Well, a lot of the health issues that they're finding that are associated with coronavirus appear to be caused by the clotting, the neurological disorders that are afterwards. The
Hey, you want to talk about that really quickly? You were telling me yesterday about clotting.
Yeah.
What were you telling? Tell them about the clotting thing.
Hi guys. I refreshed my memory. I know we were talking about clotting, but
Yeah.
okay. So clotting, it's a thing that happens. It prevents you from bleeding out when you get a
Right.
cut. This is my master class.
Everybody has clotting, otherwise we'd all be hemophiliacs.
Yeah, that's true, and you'll all die.
Yeah.
So there's 52, I want to say 52 steps along the coagulation cascade from start to finish before a clot is formed. And a deficiency or of an overabundance of any one product in those steps can cause a disorder, either excessive bleeding, and it doesn't matter where it's interrupted at.
I don't excessively bleed.
Well, I meant you had mentioned
you're talking about hemophilia.
Excessive.
Not pedophilia, hemophilia.
Oh, for fuck's sake, they're not even close. Okay, anyways, excessive bleeding or excessive clotting. I myself have a...
Pedophiles should excessively bleed.
Yes, I don't think anybody argues against that. I myself have a factor V mutation. I have a factor V mutation.
I knew you're a mutant.
Mm-hmm. Every single human being is a mutant. You've got at least one mutation.
No, I don't. I'm perfect. Look at all of this. I'm perfect.
Yes, you are.
No mutations here.
No, definitely. You got blue eyes, babe. There's one.
That is natural. That is the way God intended human beings to look. White and natural.
Oh.
And blue eyes.
Wow. I want a divorce. I can't even believe you would say that.
That's a joke, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God! I mean, it's like the picture on the wall of the white Jesus. I'm like, you lived.
Right. Even if he was white when he started, he wasn't white when he died.
Okay. Well, let's believe that.
Yeah.
But all right. But so mutations. There are 52. You said
No. There's 52 steps along the 52
52 steps, not
cascade.
52 different
And
mutations.
a deficiency or an overabundance on either part can cause a coagulation issue. And so that's 52 potential spots for something to go wrong. People that have certain genetic mutations, I have a clotting affinity, people that have 2 mutated alleles for factor V mutation have a severe form. They're much more prone to clots. In my case, I've got 1 normal allele, 1 mutated allele, so I am partially prone to clotting. That means
you are the clot in my life.
Oh, that's nope, don't like that at all. No, don't like that at all. Just not do that. Stop.
I was gonna sing more of it.
No more of that. That's no.
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 All right. So back to our main subject there that we're talking about originally was wearing masks, and taking care of yourself to to protect yourself from the coronavirus, the best thing that people can do, in my opinion, and I'm sure that the medical community would agree with me, completely, is take your precautions and limit your exposure to other people and other places and going places. If you can do it, and take all precautions possible. Wear mask, wear gloves, and for God's sake, stop touching things at the store and then touching your face and your eyes.
And that not just with coronavirus, dude,
Yeah.
anything. Oh, hand washing. Hand washing is number one for preventing communicable diseases. Just wash your hands.
Wash your
Don't
hands.
touch your face.
If you can't wash your hands, get yourself a 5-gallon bucket of hand sanitizer and put that next to your car, and then dump it all over yourself before you leave.
No, that's
No.
no. You're gonna dry off your sensitive bits. Don't do that.
Oh. No, I didn't. I'm not doing it. I'm just telling other people to do it. And you can buy it here at
Oh my God! You're gonna Alex Jones
I just
it?
became a shell.
I was gonna say you're gonna Alex Jones it.
Oh yeah, and don't forget our 5-gallon bucket of macaroni and cheese and and mashed potatoes, because I'm now Jim Baker. That's what he's pushing now on pay-per-view.
I thought Jones was selling those too.
So he is.
Yeah.
But they both are.
He was freaking out about gay frogs apparently, and then
Gay frogs. It's a real thing.
coronavirus is spread by gay bats.
Right. And
the 5G towers turned the bats gay, and then the gay bats spread
5G
the
is turning the bats gay, and the frogs. Yep.
Yeah.
Mutated gay
Wait, no.
frogs.
The frogs weren't turned gay by the 5G.
No,
it was
they weren't.
was it a pesticide?
Right. Yeah, it was a pesticide, and then we just it was something we needed, because we need another thing to worry about. First it's murder hornets and gay frogs, and now it's gay bats, 5G. What else is there? There's got to be at least a couple dozen more out there that things that to distract us and to make us stay at home and worry about everything.
That was something I wanted to address before we signed off.
Yeah.
Human contact is vital for most human beings to remain psychologically healthy.
It's very important for me. If I don't socialize, I go nuts.
He's not wrong. I can sit in my room all day long and just play with the baby and kill things on computer games and have a great time.
I don't play computer games. I don't want to sit in a room by myself unless I'm reading. That would be great. I'd love to sit down and read a book. But every time I sit down to open up the book to read another chapter or something, my son comes up and wants me to play with him now.
This is revenge for all of those times you did that to me. I wouldn't see him all damn day. Not hide nor hair this guy all day long. The minute I used to smoke over a decade ago, so that it's included in this story. I know it's weird. I used to. I quit a long time ago. The minute I got myself a cigarette and my iced tea and my book, and I got out on the porch and I got all snuggled up and I was ready to light that fucker and read that book, here he is. Hey babe, what's up? He could hear the spine cracking every single time.
Just a little. If I listened carefully enough, I could hear her just about to enjoy herself. And I knew I have to sprint from the other side of the house. I have to get there. And I have to get there and open the door just in time. Say, hey, what do you have planned?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, you want to help me with this? I don't want to. Or my favorite, he comes out one time, he's like, hey, hon, when were you going to go take care of the kitchen? I'm guessing about 5 minutes right before I actually do. Go away, the book is here.
Just before she got into the good part. Start reading it, then it's like, can't bother you now. I have to get to you just before you open the book.
Revenge.
So now my son does it to me. Every time I sit down to read, he's like, no.
Oh my God, last night was so good. He made him read Snappy Croc like 3 times.
Yeah. He likes that book.
He does like that book, but it's cute, especially because he's just like, read it.
Read it. Now read it again.
Read it, Dad. Read it a second time. Read it a third time.
Yeah. I'm more than happy to read it to him. I like that he likes me reading to him. I know he's learning. And that's important to me. That he's learning, and he likes reading.
He does like reading.
Mm-hmm. Our son is now 4 years old, ladies and gentlemen. Turned 4 years old the other day. Those 4 years went by real quick.
I got him a ball pit for his birthday.
Yeah, she did. I told her, it's good. That's a bad idea. And now he knows how to pick it up and spill all 500 balls all over.
Oh, Bill told me when I was ordering it too. He's like, "Don't do that. It's gonna be everywhere." I'm like, "How bad could it possibly be?" Click.
How long did it take him to figure out how to spill it all?
Maybe about 10 minutes total.
Yeah. So
I think the problem is he wants to bury himself completely in the balls. So the obvious solution is we need to buy more balls.
Oh, is that the solution? We need to buy more? Because the 500 isn't enough? Picking up 500 little tiny plastic balls, yeah, that's a lot. And they're everywhere. And of course, if you're not watching when you're walking, you step on them, you break your ankle. I'm old. I don't need any broken bones.
Oh,
They're all
God.
getting brittle.
There's balls everywhere.
All right. So we're way off our original topic of mask up, take responsibility, and think about somebody else's life, besides your own. Even if you don't want to wear a mask, then stay home, because the life you save, may not just be your own. It could be, the grandmother or the sister or brother or somebody else that you know. So, all right, and I know we need human contact. I know that better than anyone. I mean, I can't deal without human contact.
Ew. Okay, let's
All
sign
right.
off now. Bye, guys.
Have a good one.